Hi everybody out there on YouTube. This is Tiger Lily 011982, and I wanted to show you guys one of my magic decks and see how this goes. This is my Heavenly Inferno. It's my commander deck that they put out a few years ago to try to promote multiplayer. Commander's actually pretty fun. I like it. The first card I'm going to show you is Return to Dust. And what it does is it exiles an artifact or enchantment. If you cast it during your main phase, you get to do one more artifact or enchantment. Then we have Vows of Lightning, which enchants a creature. It gives it +2/+2 in first strike. But the nice thing about that is it can't attack you. Then we have Blightwing the Risen, which is a zombie dragon. You don't see too many of those. He has flying, and when he hits the battlefield, you may turn a dragon permanent from your graveyard to the battlefield, and he also pumps all dragons. So he's a useful card. Then you have Boris Guildmage. She's a little 2/2, and what she does is if you play 1 in a red, she gives target creature haste, or if you pay 1 in a white, she'll give them first strike. Then I have a Darksteel Ingot. This is an artifact that's indestructible, and it adds 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Then I have a Soul Snare, and what he does is if you pay 1, sacrifice him, you can exile target a creature that's attacking you or a planeswalker you control. This is Master Warcraft. Now this is an instant. You can play this on your opponent's turn or your turn. And you just have to use it before attackers are declared, and you can choose who attacks and who blocks. This is Stranglehold. It's an enchantment. None of your opponents can search their libraries, and if for any reason they're supposed to get an extra turn, they don't get it. This is Mortify. It's another instant that can be played on your turn or your opponent's turn, and it destroys target creature or enchantment. This is Bathed in Light. What it does is target creature and any other creature that shares its color gains protection from a creature until end of turn, or gains protection from a color until end of turn. This is one of the commanders in the deck. This is Horus the Avenger. He's a 6/6 flyer, and when he deals damage to an opponent, you may pay 2 and a white, and if you do, all non-white creatures take 3 damage. This is Voice of All. She's a little 2/2 flyer, but she gains protection from the color of your choice, and the minute she hits the battlefield. You choose a color, and she has protection from it. This is Comet Storm. This one's a little confusing. You pay 2, and then you pay X. X is the amount of damage that you're going to do, but it's also a multi-kicker, so after you're done paying the X, you can kick it for 1, and however many times you kick it is how many people you get to do that much damage to. So if you have a lot of mana on the board, you can do a lot of damage to a lot of people. This one's another one of the commanders, Teleria, Reckoner of Souls. She's a 4/7 with Flying Vigilance, but if you tap her instead of using her to attack, you get to choose a creature card from random out of anyone's graveyard, or out of an opponent's graveyard, and it then becomes your creature. This is the last commander in the deck, Kalia of the Vass. She's a 2/2 flyer, which most people think big deal, 2/2 flyer. But when she attacks, you can put any dragon, angel, or demon card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking with her. This one is Sarah Angel. She's a 4/4 flyer with vigilance. That's pretty much all she does. Furnace Whelp is a little 2/2 flyer, but he has one of those nice little pumping abilities where you can pay as many red as you want and give him +1/+0 until end of turn for each red you've paid. Now, Congregate can save your butt. It's an instant. It can be played on any turn, so say somebody is about to hit you for a huge amount of damage. You declare yourself as target player, and you gain 2 life for each creature that hits the battlefield. This is Bassandra Battle Seraph. She's a 4/4 flyer, but what she does is people can't play spells during combat. And she can also make creatures attack if you pay the red for it. Now he's a little mean. Magnaroth. He's a 6/6 flyer. When he enters the battlefield, you discard your hand, and your opponents have to sacrifice a creature for each card you discarded that way. This is Avatar of Slaughter. I usually don't put him out on the board unless I'm absolutely desperate. All creatures have double strike and attack each turn if able. This is Siphon Mind. Every player but you discards a card, and you get to draw a card for each card that was discarded that way. Then we have Oros Guildmage. You can either tap 2 and a white and target player gains a life, or you can tap 2 and a black and each player loses a life. Rakdos Signet is an artifact. You pay 1 and you get 2 mana. So that's kind of nice. Diabolic Tutor. You get to search your library for anything you want and put it into your hand. This little guy is a 2/2, but when he hits the battlefield, if you control 2 or more mountains, you destroy target artifact. If you control 2 or more planes, you destroy target enchantment. Now this guy is also a little bit mean. He costs 10 to put out. He's an 8/8, but when he comes onto the board, he destroys all creatures but yours, and then he taps yours. Oni of Wild Places. He has haste. He's a 6/5. At the beginning of your upkeep, return a red creature you control to its owner's hand. This is Sulphur Blast. Sulphur Blast deals 2 damage to each creature and each player unless you cast it during your main phase, and it deals 3 damage to each creature and each player. This is Soul Ring. You just tap it and you get 2 colorless mana. Shattered Angel is a 3/3 flyer, but whenever a land hits the battlefield under your opponent's control, you gain 3 life. This is another one of those enchant creatures. It gives the creature +2/+2 and Intimidate, but it can't attack you or a planeswalker you control. This is Wrecking Ball. Destroy target creature or land. That's all it does. It's an instant. This is Armillary Sphere. You tap 2, you sacrifice it, you get to search your library for up to 2 lands. One goes onto the battlefield tap, the other one goes into your hand. Pyromancy. You pay 1 red and you can deal 1 damage to each creature and each player for every mountain that you tapped. And if there are no creatures on the board, then you have to sacrifice it. This is Lightning Greaves. It costs 2, but it's 0 to equipped, and it gives a creature Shroud, which is really, really nice, because then your opponents, nobody can affect the creature. This is Inviscar Justice. It deals 2 damage to each creature and each player. The Death by Dragons is useful if you only have 2 people, because then you can say, I get a red dragon and you don't. Because what it does is each player other than a target player puts a 5/5 red dragon token onto the battlefield. Cleansing Beam deals 2 damage to target player and or target creature and each creature that shares that color. This guy I usually don't put out either. It's Razor Jaw Oni. Black creatures can't block. Akroma's Bed Vengeance is one of them cards. If you're screwed, screw everybody else. So it destroys all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. Dragon Whelp is a little 2/3 flyer. He's pumpable, but if you pump him more than 3 times, you actually end up destroying him at the end of turn. This is another one of the signets. You pay 1 and you get 2 mana. This is Fallen Angel. Instead of Shattered, it's Fallen. This one's a 3/3 flyer. If you sacrifice a creature, you can pump him. He gets +2/+1. This is another instant with a kicker. You can destroy target artifact or enchantment, but if you kicked it, then you get to deal damage equal to the converted mana cost to that player. This is another one of the signets. You pay 1, you get 2 mana. This is Anger. I like killing him real quick. I usually get him, attack with him, and get him in my graveyard, because as long as Anger's in your graveyard and you control a mountain, creatures you control have haste. This is Path of Exile. Exile target creature. Its controller can search for a land and put that card onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle their library. This is a Chroma Angel of Fury. She can't be countered. She has protection from white and from blue. She also has flying and trample. And she's also a pumpable angel, which you don't really see a lot of pumpable angels. Angelic Arbiter is kind of, you either play a spell or you attack, because you can't do both as long as she's on the board, and she's a 5/6 flyer. This is Angel of Despair. She's flying. When she hits the battlefield, you can destroy target permanent, and she's a 5/5. Mother of Ruins is a little 1/1 card, but you can give a creature protection from a color until end of turn, so that makes her nice. Now this was built for Commander. This was built for multiplayer. It's a 5/5 flying dragon. It's called Mana Charged Dragon, and what you do is called Join Forces. Whenever you attack, each player, starting with the person who attacked with it, may pay any amount of mana. And then you go around the board to everybody who wants to pay. And it gets plus X plus 0, where X is the amount of mana that was paid. Angel of Strife has flying, and it has 2 abilities. You either choose War or Peace. If you choose War, your creatures get +3/+0. If you choose Peace, your creatures get +0/+3. Vow of Duty is another enchant creature. It's +2/+2. The creature will get Vigilance, but it can't attack you. Terminate just destroys target creature. It can't be regenerated. This one's Earthquake. Earthquake deals X damage to target creature without flying, to each creature without flying in each player. This is a Guildwind Head Mage. When it enters the battlefield, if you control 2 or more planes, you get a 1/1 white Kithkin Soldier. If you have 2 or more swamps, you put a -1/- counter on target creature. This is Righteous Cost. Whenever a creature attacks you, you gain 1 life. This one siphons flesh. Each other player sacrifices a creature, and you put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield for each creature sacrificed this way. And the last card in the deck is Lightkeeper of Emria. She's a little 2/4 flyer, but she's a multi-kicker. For every white you pay, you gain 2 life when she entered the battlefield. Alright, that is my Commander deck. If you guys like this video and want to see more, please like the video or comment below or add any suggestions that you can think of. This is Tiger Lily, and you all have a nice day.